And we're going to do a minute here to take our projections for the Steelers season. I know it's early. I know everything can happen between now and the start of training camp, certainly the start of the season, certainly as the season progresses. But it's still fun to take a look at the schedule. And Matt Koll and I, our producer, are going to look at these game by game real quickly and come up with a record.
Let's throw some football music behind this.
Oh, there you go. Ray Fittipaldo said 10-7. Man, I'm not that optimistic. I'll see exactly how pessimistic I am. But let's go, Matt. You can go first. At Cincinnati, the opening game.
How about this year is like one of the first years I can ever remember. It definitely is the first year that I can remember that it's like, hey, you're going to Cincinnati to start off the season, and man, that's a tough game to start in Cincinnati.
Joe Burrow.
But I got to give them a loss here. I mean, I can't honestly pick them to win that game to start off the year on the road.
I can't either. Not against Burrow.
No.
8th year in a row they open up on the road. All right, next up, New England at home.
I'll give them a loss here as well, although this could go. I've gone back and forth on this all day long, but I'll go with a loss. A 1 o'clock game at home. I think New England's going to bounce back a little bit. You know, their defense is always top of the line, and Mac Jones is probably going to take another step in progression, so I'll give him a loss there.
Well, if Belichick had Brady, I'd pick the Patriots, but I'm going to give the Steelers a win here for some reason. All right, at Cleveland, a Thursday night game. The third game in 11 days on the mistake on the lake. Who do you got?
You know, funky things happen on Thursday nights. We know that. It's a short week. And I'm going to give the Steelers their first win of the season here for some reason, going to Cleveland on a Thursday night. I just think they'll be able to handle the change in schedule better than Cleveland. And who knows if Deshaun Watson even plays in this game.
Yeah, he may not, but I have him a loss at Cleveland. Reminds me of my favorite, well, not my favorite, but one of my most memorable Thursday night games in Cleveland late in the year. It was the coldest I've ever been in my life. It was unbelievably cold. They lost. I believe it was their 5th loss in a row. And I remember walking up to Casey Hampton, and he looked at me and goes, man, this bleep's a wrap. And it was a wrap. They won the next 3 games, but they didn't make the playoffs. But I'll never forget him saying, man, this bleep is a wrap.
That was a low, low point in Steeler history.
The Jets at home on October 2nd, really what should be their first easy game. I have them a win for that night. How about you?
Yeah, the Jets are the Jets. They're going to win that game. If they don't, then it's going to be just the anger and the vitriol in Pittsburgh is going to be off the charts. They better win that game.
No doubt. All right, we both have them at 2-4 at this point. Let's go next at Buffalo, October 9th. I have a loss. How about you?
Yeah, I've got a loss here as well. I mean, I just can't see them going into Buffalo and winning that game, although they did it in week 1 last year.
They did it in week 1 last year. I don't think they're going to surprise the Bills this year. Home against Tom Brady in Tampa Bay on October 16th. Who do you got?
I know they're at home, but it's Tom Brady. They never play well against Tom Brady. I'm done betting against Tom Brady, even if he flirts with retirement and then is going to come back. So I'll give him a loss here.
All right. So we both did that. Now you have a Sunday night game at Miami. I'm sure that's on October 23rd, the one game you think people were going to want to go to because it's Miami. Who do you have?
I know Miami's gotten better this offseason. They got Tyreek Hill, but I'm still not a believer in Tua. And also the Steelers are used to primetime games. Miami, maybe not so much. First-year head coach, I give him the win here.
I'm going with Tyreek Hill. I don't know how they stop him. I think Tua is going to be good enough that night, so I got him losing that one. Then the next one, the last game before the bye week. The bye week comes right at the middle of the season for them, 9th week. Good time. I have them going to Philadelphia and winning to end the first half of the season. How about you?
Yeah, I'm still not totally sold on Jalen Hurts and their offense. I mean, I know they're adding some weapons there out in Philly as well, but I'm still not sold there, so I'll give them a win in Philly.
All right, at the halfway point, 8 games in, I have them at 3-5. You have them at 4-4.
Yep.
All right, let's pick up the rest of the schedule after the bye week. New Orleans at home on November 13th. I have that one down as a win.
Yeah, post Drew Brees, New Orleans Saints, not nearly the same. And so, and plus they've got them at home. They don't have to go into the Dome, so I've got to win.
All right, then the rematch against Cincinnati at home. This is a 8:20 game, a Sunday night game. against the Bengals. I think the Bengals are going to whip them twice like they did last year. I got a loss.
Yeah, I've got a loss too, and I do point back to last year. Maybe they learned a thing or two playing Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, but they weren't even close in both of those games last year, and so I've got them losing both games against Cincinnati this year.
All right, then the following Monday night, November 28th after Thanksgiving at Indy. A Monday night game, a second primetime game in a row. Who do you got?
You know what? I think the Colts are going to have a really good season with Matt Ryan. I think he is just the piece that they needed. He brings all that veteran leadership to that locker room, and I think he's got some good years left in Indy. I think they're going to have a strong season. They're going to win that division, and I say they win that game on Monday night against the Steelers as well.
All right, you're still one game better than me at this point. Let's see what happens the rest of the way. At Atlanta on December 4th, I have a win in that one.
Yeah, I've got a win here, too. They're not much this year. They don't have a quarterback.
I don't even know who the quarterback is.
I think it's Mariota.
Is that who it's going to be?
Yeah. So I say win there.
All right, now a rematch. Not a rematch, the first of two against Baltimore. I love the fact that these are both coming late. I love when they play Baltimore late, and they do. This is the first time, November 14th. Who do you got?
I've got the Steelers winning this one. They match up well with Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. I mean, it's always a close game, as we know. It seems like there's been different points where they've looked overmatched against the Ravens, but there's something about that matchup that they're always in that game, and I say they get it done at home.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I know they've played Lamar Jackson well, although he didn't play in the second game last year. I think Baltimore, they had every injury go against them last year. I think they're going to have a good year. I'm taking Baltimore in that one. All right, we're down to the last four. At Carolina on December 18th. I don't even know if Matt Rule's still going to be the coach then.
He might not be.
He may be out. I got the Steelers winning that one.
Yeah, I've got them winning this one too. And this might be the crowd in Carolina at this point. Carolina could be out of it by this point in the season. This could be at least 50-50. Steeler fans to Panther fans, maybe even more Steeler fans in that building.
And then they got Las Vegas at home, Christmas Eve. I don't know what the crowd's going to be like for that one. Christmas Eve. It's a Saturday night game, 8:15 kickoff against the Raiders, the celebration of Franco's catch 50 years ago. Normally, I wouldn't pick the Steelers in this one. I just don't think they're going to lose that one. I think things are going to go their way and they're going to get a win.
Ron, I would love to say the same thing, but I can't get past that it's now the Las Vegas Raiders. And every time they play the Raiders, they don't play well. And I can't get past that. Every single year they do this. I think it's going to be different. It doesn't matter what the Raiders look like. Doesn't matter what the Steelers look like. It's all thrown out the window, and it's a mess when they play the Raiders. So I'm going to say they lose that one.
So you had a 3-game winning streak, and now that comes to an end against the Raiders.
Unfortunately.
All right, the last two games, division opponents at Baltimore on January 1st, New Year's Day. Don't be hungover when you're watching that one. I'm hoping the Steelers aren't hungover, but I can't pick them in Baltimore. I'm giving them a loss.
Yeah, I'll say the Ravens. Excuse me. They sneak out the win there, so I'll say the Steelers lose that game.
All right, the last game of the year, Cleveland at home. It's either going to be on the 7th or 8th of January. Might play that on a Saturday, I guess. I'm going to say they can find a way to win that game. I don't know why I'm picking them, but I'm going to give them a win.
You know what? I'm doing the same thing, Ron, and I think there's going to be most likely some playoff implications for that game as well, whether it's making the playoffs for both teams or either team or some seeding on the line. And I just go back to whenever push comes to shove, when the Steelers are at home against the Cleveland Browns, that they get it done. So I'll get the win.
All right, you have them 9-8.
Yes, I do. Another winning season for Mike Tomlin.
I have them 8-9. I have them not making the playoffs. Is 9-8 going to be good enough to get them in?
Oh, that's a good question. Man, that's 50-50, honestly, to get the 7th seed there at 9-8. So it could go either way, but they're going to be right on that edge, and it's probably going to come down to that Week 18 game against Cleveland that they'll need to win that to even have a chance at the playoffs.
9-8. You have 8-9. I have Ray Fittipaldo 10-7, although he's already second-guessing his choices. It's fun to look at it. None of it means anything because who knows what the roster's even going to look like by training camp, let alone opening day, let alone on January 7th or 8th against the Browns in that final game.